Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Many apologies for not making content over the last several days. I've been just focusing on so many things, but I'm back here today. I wanted to do a topic in mind on StreamYard about the possibility if Ronda Rousey is even finished with WWE or if we're ever going to see her return. I know a lot of people out there really have not wanted her back following her loss at SummerSlam to Shayna Baszler, but there's been so many stories that have come out about Ronda Rousey. Is she going back to the UFC? Is she going to retire? Is she focusing on something else? Very little has come out about Ronda Rousey. And while I'm not against Ronda Rousey and what she does, I'm not even against Ronda at who she is. But I feel like her business in WWE, her work is not done, not the way that people like to think that it is, because Ronda Rousey losing to Shayna Baszler, that really was only the beginning of their feud that they had because WWE could not find anybody to make them credibly beat Ronda Rousey after the way that she's been built up over the last few years. Um, we know Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, they were a tag team, they were champions, and then they had Baszler turn on Rousey, and that shocked everybody. And it also made sense in itself because Shayna Baszler, her MMA background, similar to Ronda Rousey, and the fact that they're really friends in real life. They train together, they've known each other for years. Ronda Rousey losing to Shayna Baszler was not really a problem for me. I didn't care who won the match because I knew what they were doing. And they were not going to have Ronda Rousey just quietly leave like nothing had happened. She had to go out there and lose to someone. It made all the sense in the world for her to lose to somebody that she knows everything about, who knows everything about her. They trained together. They fought each other. They've been tag team partners. They have the same work philosophy. And while, people have really come at Ronda Rousey in the past for comments that she said about WWE, I feel like a lot of that was basically, how do I put this? It was misconstrued by a lot of deluded wrestling fans that take wrestling way too seriously. And while Ronda said that it was completely fake, she did not say that the injuries in wrestling were fake. And she didn't say that, when people get hurt, that it's fake. She was only implying that matches basically are fake because it's predetermined outcomes. It's not real fighting. And there were people since that time period that jumped on her about it. And they said that, oh, Ronda shouldn't come back to WWE because she said it's fake. And I know for a fact that Ronda had to make a retraction on what she said and kind of explain it better. I'd have to go back and find where she said that, but it was some time ago. And Ronda Rousey, whatever she does, she's always going to have a fan base. And I feel like a lot of her fan base, they stay loyal to her despite what she had said, because there are wrestling fans out there that are not always going to take everything people say about wrestling at the heart. They're not always going to get offended, but then there's those bigger numbers where people get offended and they get riled way too easily. And while Ronda Rousey is out of WWE at the moment, I feel like over time they're going to keep her away and then they're going to reach out to her and bring her back. Most notably, if I had to really pick a timetable, the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble. Because if she doesn't go back to the UFC, she's more than likely going to return. And I don't know if she'll win it like last time when she was, the winner a few years ago. But I really do believe that if they do this, it's basically going to be a thing where they're going to bring her back to continue her feud with Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey, match 2. It is definitely going to happen when the time comes. Because they're not just going to have one match. Well, it's over and done with. No, that's not the way it is. Ronda Rousey will take a break from wrestling. She'll heal up her arm. She'll heal up some other nagging injuries, because she did say before she lost that she was dealing with some old injuries. And I think that's why WWE is really keeping her away, despite they're not done the way that they think that people think. Rousey and WWE are not done yet. But let's say if they are. Let's say Ronda Rousey decides to not return and goes back to the UFC. Will she have better luck? Well, it's hard to say on how well she'll train and how well she'll fight and who she'll be fighting. But we can't forget that Ronda once had a very, very big undefeated streak before she lost. And that's something that really is a determining factor. I really do believe that Ronda still feels that she has one more run in her to go back to the UFC and fight if she turns down the chance to go back to WWE. Ronda Rousey, if she goes back, will she be as good as before? Well, she already had a comeback fight and she lost her comeback fight. And then she vanished and then she went over to WWE. But I really do believe if Ronda did go back, she would do pretty good. I mean, if she does, if it's just one fight or several fights, it really doesn't matter because you know that Ronda is in great shape and she's got her heart in the right place. And I really think that that's something that everybody really needs to be proud of because I don't believe all the hateful crap that has been said about Ronda Rousey. I mean, yeah, she's done a lot of things in the past that have gotten people riled, but she's not that bad of an athlete. She's a judo champion. She works hard. She trains. She's in shape. And let's be honest. I mean, her run in WWE, say what you will, it was not as bad as what I've seen from other performers. Ronda Rousey isn't a bad wrestler, but she's not the best ever. And yeah, I mean, there have been moments where Ronda has said she's not exactly a great wrestler either, but the whole point I'm making is Ronda still contributed to sports entertainment. And she's really not that bad of a wrestler that I've seen, although everybody has a preference on what they've seen. You never know. She might be training and getting better as a wrestler. She might come back down the road and surprise everybody with new moves. Or maybe not. Maybe Tony Khan will reach out to her. Maybe AEW will sign her. Maybe Impact Wrestling will sign her. They could definitely do some stuff with Ronda Rousey as well. But given how Ronda's real life friend Shayna Baszler is in WWE and the way that all went down, I honestly think that Ronda will likely end up back in WWE, and we're definitely going to see her face Shayna Baszler down the road. If she does come back to the Royal Rumble, that would be interesting in itself because, Shayna would have to be a champion supposedly and heading into WrestleMania, and then she would face Ronda Rousey, who would win the Women's Royal Rumble. Or what they could do is have Ronda Rousey stay off TV until SummerSlam next year. She comes back and faces Baszler. This time around, Rousey would get the win. That feud is definitely not over with. But who knows? You never know. Ronda Rousey, wherever she goes, she's definitely going to make an impact. I really don't believe we've seen the last of her in WWE, but you never know. She might go elsewhere. She might return to the UFC. Just have to wait and see, but I definitely think we'll see her again down the road. And, I wish her all the very best. So with that being said, guys, tell me what you think. Do you think Ronda Rousey's finished with WWE? Will she go elsewhere? What do you want to see out of the baddest woman on the planet? Tell me in the comment section down below. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.